Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, we'll start with trades and then we'll talk sort of about the free agency news that we're hearing for some of the bigger names. Let's start with Kawhi Leonard. He was traded to Toronto. Um, let's see. Toronto got Kawhi Leonard, and the Clippers get Ingram, Grady Dick, two unprotected first round picks, 31 and 33, a second round pick in 30 and 33, and then a first round pick swap in 2027. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on Kawhi going back to the Raptors?
Well, Kawhi seems to just have his places he likes. Um, and I guess this is kind of like on the surface a win-win, I think. The Raptors probably overpaid a little bit when you think of it long term, but as we've talked about with the Eastern Conference, you have an opportunity here. The picks are far enough out. The Raptors still have some picks. But he fits in really good. I mean, to give up Brandon Ingram, who was basically not played in a lot of the playoff games or was ineffective, and to put in a modicum of Kawhi Leonard that we saw last year, instantly like vaults you up the Eastern Conference. And now they can focus on some shooting, they can focus on some other things. But I think if you're the Raptors, what we see in the East, and you get this opportunity, I think ideally you would probably want to maybe take one of these picks out.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of the cost of doing business right now.
Yeah, the picks are pretty far out too, so the swap is fine. Like you're still going to get a pick in the first round. So it's really just two first round picks, and they're pretty far out. The only concern I have, well, two concerns for the Raptors. Number one is the obvious Kawhi Leonard has to stay healthy. I think this was the healthiest season he had. I think he got over 65 games, correct? Or
Yeah,
at 65.
yeah, I think he was
So
right at 65.
yeah, so you gotta hope that continues, and it sounds like that he wants to extend there. And the other concern I have, and maybe you can squash these concerns a little bit, is just him and Scotty Barnes like to work in the same place. And I've always I don't like when teams get players like that that are confined to a certain area. Now, Kawhi has a better three-point shot than Scotty Barnes, but like when Kawhi is going, he has that certain area. And when you talk about the three-point shooting, you're going to need to get more to if you're going to have Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard on the floor together because even though Kawhi can shoot threes, he likes to work in that mid-range area. So that would be the only two concerns I have really for Toronto with this Kawhi trade. It's a big it is a little bit of an overpay for the injury history he has and the fit with him and Barnes. I think defensively will be amazing. It's the offense that I'm a little worried about.
I tend to agree with you. I think like Kawhi, similar to like KD, even if it's a little congested, like he gets off that mid ranger regardless. Like he
Yeah,
has a high release. He's a big guy. I do think like if you face another, let's just say healthy Orlando Magic, what we saw last year, like again, you're the Raptors going into one of these, like this is going to be ugly because
yeah,
defensively, you're right, they're going to be awesome. I tend to agree. You're going to see stretches of defense, especially against. I think it's only going to show up like in the best of the best teams. But you're right. If Scotty Barnes is off the ball, all right. Well, we're going to creep over a little bit, depending
yeah,
on what they can fit. Maybe they could move R.J. Barrett and get some shooting or something.
sure.
But you're right. I do think it's minimized a little because Kawhi is going to get that shot off. You get him the ball 18 feet from the hoop, like unless it's an instant double,
Sure.
right? He's going to face and pull up. But I do think there's going to be a little period where sometime you're going to go, well, that is some ugly offensive basketball we are watching.
Right. And the thing is Scotty Barnes in this year's playoffs, he took I felt like a step, but all in the area where Kawhi likes to work too. So it's like I'm a little worried, just a little bit. It's not a big worry, it's just a little worried. Like even with Barnes, it's like, is it going to affect his development a little bit because he was taking the reins as the number one option on this team, and now it's like, okay, we're bringing in Kawhi, and he that's just gonna put a wrench in those plans because it's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I would agree. Again, like similar to, I mean, obviously he's better than Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Ingram is kind of the same player, and the
Correct.
Raptors
Yeah.
still had some success, even rolling Brandon Ingram's, 18-foot barrage out there too.
Right, correct. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Okay. Clippers side of this.
Again, the Clippers have done a couple of these, getting Garland, now moving off Kawhi. Like, if you don't want to pay Kawhi the money, I don't know if there's like a wink, wink, you can't sign Kawhi type of deal
Oh,
from
sure.
the NBA.
Yeah, it could be.
Hey, you can't keep him. Even if you take that out, look, if you're not going to pay the dude and you can drum up 2 unprotected first round picks, and the pick swap this year is probably going to benefit them. They already have it swapped with OKC. So then they'll get to swap back up with Toronto. So, I mean, they're improving their pick technically by doing this. But I think it's a home run for the Clippers. Again,
Yeah.
we kind of saw they're kind of stuck where they are. If you can go young, you have 2 young guards now. Brandon Ingram is a fine regular season player. So, they're not going to be one of these like god awful teams. And again, there'll be another team that they don't really care if they end up in the bottom 3 because they don't have that pick. But if you can get 3 picks, or at least improve next year's pick and get 2 unprotected picks, if you're the Clippers, again, for a 35-year-old guy, you have to do it.
Right, and the thing with Brandon Ingram is he's only got 2 years left on his deal. His last year's a player option. I think it's 41. So he becomes like, sometimes teams will make a move before you make the big move where you like accumulate a bunch of picks and then you got the contract that you can trade for whatever next star is annoyed or wants to trade out. Well, now they got a plethora of picks on top of a contract that they could move next year. Maybe not this year, but next year. I really think the Clippers looked at their team and were like, we're not going to beat that. Like, you might be right about the aspiration things, but they got to be looking at the West and be like, yeah, we're not winning in the next 3 years, no matter what we do. So why don't we just try to retool and kind of get better as the teams have to start to meet the aprons and meet the salary cap limits and all that stuff. And so they're going to play like a little bit more of a patient game. But I think getting Ingram and those picks, you're lining yourself up for the next big move to be able to offer a lot for whatever player comes next.
Yeah, I mean, you just retooled yourself. You have a 29 unprotected Pacers pick, a 31 and a 33 Raptors, which obviously Kawhi will be long gone by then as far as playing. So,
right.
Again, you just juice that back up, and as time goes on, as years go on in the next couple of years, some of your other picks will come back online that you haven't traded, like their own 32, 33, 34 picks. So you're right. If they develop some young guys, you're right in the ballpark. Yeah, I mean, if Garland comes on and hits it strong, they could be a cap space team now. So there's rumors they make a play for like Peyton Watson or something where you can have a decent team and then have that ability to throw these picks back out there.
Yep, correct. Yeah. Or take on more assets, right? Like that's the other thing. Yeah. So, okay. Anything else on this trade, Kawhi to Toronto?
It's one of the few times I'm happy now that I'm on the other end. I'm like, oh, I don't mind a good player coming back to the East because I don't want Miami to win. So now I don't have to be like, oh, great, we have to go through Kawhi.
Yeah, correct. Win-win for, you think, like for both teams?
Yeah, I think it's initially, again, the caveat, like you said, is the health.
Yeah.
But I do think part of the benefit of being in the East is you may be able to give him a 4, 5, 10 extra games off if need be and not be killed by this because they were already a really good defensive team last year and that's going to carry you so far. So I would give it a win-win. Slight edge to the Clippers getting off of an old guy. Yeah,
and getting the unprotected picks. And one other thing I'll just say, I agree with you just of the Ingram thing, is he can also be a trade candidate this year too. Like if a bunch of teams miss out on like trying to improve, it's like there might be a team that might get desperate and grab Ingram from you. Okay, let's move on to the other. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.